with another video. It's a brand new day. It is 6 a.m. We're getting on the streets. We got the BMW M coffee mug. You guys don't know, I had an M5 and I had an X5M, but then I got into Porsches. It looks like the stocks are gonna dump even more. Well, VGT's not, but it looks like SCHD is. The Quantum looks like maybe it's holding steady. We'll see what happens. But so right now, a little portfolio update. We're at 1,307,000, and we've lost $270,000 this month. Let's freaking go, baby. We are dialed in. No, we're not dialed in at all. We have lost $270,000, and I'm still bidding on Porsches on Bring a Trailer. I need to get my head checked. No, I'm trying to get my son a car. So just for fun, I'm putting in some bids on an E30, baby. On a 1989 E30. But while I was on there, I saw a Carrera RS 964 and I bid on that too. Just for fun. Someone's gonna beat me. The car's gonna end up selling for a lot of money. It's 57,000 miles white. The thing is clean. So SCHD's dividend yield is sitting at 4.27% when the stock market opens. It looks like it's going to drop by like 1.64%. So the yield's going to be about 4.34%. Man, oh man, it's hard to say what to do. I've got 20-some% cash right now. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm going to set up a buy for more SCHD, $25,000 more, which is 1,000 more shares. I'm going to set up a buy for 25,000 more, which is 50 shares of VGT. So I'm just basically going VGT, SCHD all the way until the cows come home, and then we'll see what happens. But when I say it's hard to know what to do, it's like, do you go into the tech? Because ultimately VGT's dividend yield, VGT's dividend yield is at 0.69%, which that's creeping up for a tech ETF. But VGT is actually, its PE ratio, it's not that much lower than its 10-year average. It's around its 10-year average, to be honest. So it's not like it's undervalued. It's fairly valued, I guess you'd say. So might be a good entry point. Who knows? But it would be nice to get in there when it's lower than its 10-year average, the PE ratio. SCHD is below its 10-year average PE ratio. It's currently below its average. So it's going to be a really good entry point for SCHD, especially with the yield. You can just look at the SCHD yield and know that it's underpriced right now compared to its historic yield. But you have to factor in the reconstitution, if you guys aren't familiar with that. Later today, when I get on the computer, I'm going to donate $1,000 to St. Jude. If you guys have any charities that you like something close to you, like maybe your brother has Down syndrome, or you have a friend that's dealing with battling something else, let me know if you have like a charity or something. Hit me up. I'll do it. I'll donate on a video. Watching the channel, are you investing or are you waiting? Because I could be catching a fallen knife and I might look down and have bloody hands here in a couple days. We'll find out. All I know is that I was happy buying SCHD before to accumulate passive income, and I've always wanted to get back into VGT. My original portfolio allocation for years was VOO, VGT, and SCHD. When I was young, it was kind of more like VOO, VGT, and then as I'm getting slightly older and I have my e-commerce business and there's uncertainty around that, I've started adding SCHD so I can see passive income. And then eventually I got so obsessed with the passive income, I went full 100% SCHD, and that's how I've lost my $270,000. It probably would have been a lot worse actually if I was holding VGT and VOO at the time. But now I see that VGT has corrected over 20%. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stack some VGT again, get back into that little bit of growth, have a little growth leg in my portfolio, because I had not a lot of tech once the reconstitution happened with SCHD. I've mentioned this in past videos. I'm just kind of updating anybody if they're new to the channel. If you're brand new to the channel and you're wondering, like, because some guy left a comment, what's your day job category? So I was a diesel mechanic for 15 years. And while I was doing that, I was trying to figure out ways to make more money, because my wife and I were always like overdrafting our bank account. We had a young son that had an illness when he was born, and we had our first kid when I was like 23 and she was 20. And we have 3 kids and 1 on the way, so we're about to have 4. 2 boys, 2 girls. So what I'm saying is, I like the 2 boys, 2 girls because I can say my sons and daughters. I know it sounds silly, but it's kind of cool. Like, I got a whole flock Like I got a whole crew, a little army. So we were working on trying to figure out a way to make more money. So I was doing like a t-shirt brand, computer repair, windshield repair, all kinds of things. I tried to get other jobs to increase my income. Just, you know, throughout the years, 10 years, I think that happened. That went, about 10 years. And, well, my son was born, about 10 years. And then eventually we started selling products. First we were selling products at events. And then at the time, 2012, Facebook ads started taking off and the internet was happening. It was, it was just in full effect. So I started hyper learning like Facebook ads, Google. At the time, it was really mainly just Facebook ads and Shopify. I was watching YouTube videos, staying up late at night. I had a basement of a townhouse in Baltimore, and the basement, I was gonna like fix it up. It had one of those foam ceilings with the grid, those panels like in a school, and I ripped all that down. So the basement was like all decrepit looking because it was like half fixed up, half not. I ripped out these shelves and these panels on the walls, and I just set up down there with the basement like half finished. And I had a 8-foot plastic table, and I had my laptop, and I just had like a little white foam board. Like I would put a white foam board, and I bought a T-bar, and I was like putting different jewelry and things on it. And I had a camera. I was always into filming and cameras because I was into skateboarding growing up, so we would film videos and stuff. So I knew Adobe Photoshop and I knew Adobe Premiere growing up because I edit videos. So actually, when I was younger, that was one of the first major purchases I had. I don't know if I saved the money or it was like half I saved and half was a gift or something like that. But I got a small Sony camera. It was a high 8 camera with the little tapes. And eventually, when my wife and I were married, I had a Nikon. So it was like a Nikon D700, I think. It was one of the lower level DSLR cameras. But I was just using that. It had the autofocus, which was nice. I remember I would like tap the button to get it to focus on the product, and then I would hit it. And I was just photographing the products. I was buying products on Alibaba, and I was photographing the products. And then we would go to events and like anything, like a farmer's market. We were like all over the place. I remember I was in like the hood one time selling things. I'm like, what am I doing out here? But I mean, I was selling like hair clips off Alibaba. I'm like, yeah, this is 15. Yeah, this one here, this gold one. Yeah, this is 25. And I remember, I think I bought it was like 90 cents on Alibaba. And dude, people buy things, it's like the value you put around it. I had a white tablecloth and I had turquoise business cards that said the brand name on it. And I just told him like, yeah, we're like it's just a small operation. Our son was born. I told him the story. I just told him like what we were doing. And I just started selling products. So one thing led to another, and over time we had built a pretty big e-commerce business. And with Facebook ads, I just was kind of a wild man. And the way I really scaled it was back in the day when Facebook ads were first happening, I would use cost caps. So what I would do is I would tell Facebook, like, I'm willing to spend $20,000 today. I didn't have $20,000. I was a diesel mechanic. I had like $500 a week, and I think I was using 600 of it. I would put $20,000 on the Facebook ads, but I'd put the cost cap. If you're not familiar with what the cost cap is, cost caps don't work well now. I don't use them anymore because, you probably could scale with them if you put the cost cap way higher than your customer acquisition cost. So that's what I would do. So I'll explain to you. So I'll put the cost cap at like $25. So I'm telling Facebook, I'm willing to spend $25 to get someone to buy. If they don't serve the ad, if no one buys. So what Facebook will do is they'll go around and try to find people. Back then, when it was the Goldilocks era of Facebook ads, it was firing all day long finding people. So what would happen is I would keep my customer acquisition cost under a certain number, and it would try to spend the $20K. Someone left a comment last night and said, what's the worst financial fall you've ever had? And I can't remember like specific ones, but there were days where I literally burned $20,000 as a diesel mechanic, like gone, like maxed out my credit card. I had a $60,000 credit card limit. I kept reapplying all the time. Every time my limit would go up, I'd wait a little while and I'd reapply. Sometimes they'd deny it, sometimes they'd approve it. But eventually, because we were using it with the business, it's just they started seeing a lot of transactions, and it was being paid over time. So I kept applying and it kept going up. But yeah, I would have ads run away. So I'd have it set on cost cap. But this is what I would do. This is how I scaled the business. This is how I built like $1 million. I had an email list that was well over 1 million people. we did $11 million in sales one year, like 2.2 million something in profit. And so it was almost 12,000 or 12 million in sales. It was like 11,900,000 something. So ever since then, it's been going down because I've been like, I haven't been the same aggressive wild man I was back then, like taking the risks I took. So what I would do is I would put the cost cap, even though it's at 25. Sometimes what would happen is it would either be ad fatigue or maybe just they can't find people to purchase under 25. So what I would do is I'd be like frustrated that it's not like growing. I'd be like, damn dude, I gotta freaking get this thing going. This sucks. I'd be like, screw it, I'm putting 100. So I would tell Facebook, spend up to 100. And every now and then, it worked. I'm telling you, back then it worked. It would start, because it would go up to like 30, 35, 40. And once it started like allowing Facebook to spend more to find someone to buy, it would bring in so many people. Like I remember one time going on to Shopify and clicking on analytics live view, and there was like, no joke, I remember sitting on my porch. We made $100,000. We did $100,000 in sales, not in profit, in one day. And I'm talking about not a day. Like this was in a couple of hours. And I remember like sitting and watching and just seeing on the live view on Shopify, seeing going up and up and up and up and up and up. And I remember at one time it was like, I said to my wife, like, oh my gosh, we have 1,400 active carts right now. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like we have 1,400 active carts. But that was during the Facebook era, the Goldilocks era, where it wasn't so saturated and the algorithms changed a lot. But check it out. GT2 RS. 2 of them. Oh, GT3 and a GT2. Dude, that thing is nasty. That thing is nasty. I love that black with the gold wheels. That's what I'd build in Forza. So compare that to now, where I'm spending like, right now I'm spending just like maybe like $700 on a campaign with no cost cap. And it's hard to scale to those numbers because once you start, I'm scaling 10% a day. But a lot of times I've noticed now, without a cost cap, you have to go broad. This is the way that you're supposed to do it now. If you don't, it's not gonna really scale or serve the ad. But basically now, once I get up to like 2,000, 3,000, the customer acquisition cost starts to really climb. I either have to duplicate the campaign and have 2 of them going, or I have to really step up my retargeting to try to squeeze the lemon and get as much out as I can. But it's just not what it was. So now I'm going with a micro influencer strategy. This is what I've been working on now. So, I got so sick and tired of like these freaking influencers. They're like, oh yeah, it's $5,000 for a post, or it's $1,000 for a post. And I'm like, your posts suck. I don't tell them this, but I'm thinking this in my head. Your posts suck and nobody even buys when you post. Like I've paid so many times, I'm like, this is so pointless. So now I thought, I like to think of myself as an underdog. Everybody I've hired at the business is like an underdog. Somebody that had some problem happen to them in life, or they were down and out, or one of our girls, she came from Puerto Rico during the hurricane, doesn't know English, you know what I mean? And I thought, all these people have like 200 followers or 100 followers, but they're their friends. These are their friends. Like she has 100 followers, but she knows 50 of them, like actually knows them. I thought, why not send them the products to them? Like, why not make them influencers? Like, I was like, let's freaking pump up the small person that's not getting any traction. So that's what we started doing. I literally give away free product. But what I do is I require you, and people are willing to do it because they don't have as many followers. They're not all entitled. So I require you, I made a Google Drive full of brand photos and product photos, and I require you to share one of the photos. You can select, there's tons. It could fit anybody's aesthetic. There's so many different like variations of the products and photos and lifestyle pictures. You could even make it look like it's your product, like it's on your body. Like that's how many of the photos I have. And what you do is you have to go and you have to post on your page first. Once you post on your page, like story, post, whatever, then we give you access to sign up, get your commission link, and get your free product. And that's through collabs on Shopify. And most people wouldn't be sharing this. I'm sharing this with you guys. But that's what I've been doing now. And it seems to be getting a lot of new people in. It's a numbers game. So you can scale it. You can scale it actually to where it's fully automated. You can use many chats. That truck and SUV are about to hit each other. You can use many chats inside, and you can set up keyword autoresponders. So for example, like if somebody writes the word free, so like the way the funnel works is maybe you make a post and the post says like we want to send you a free blah blah blah, like message us. When they message you, they're gonna write the word free. They're gonna write like, hi, I'm messaging about the free. Now you can set up in many chats, when they send the word free, boom, you send the first message. Hi, we love your IG. We love your IG. Oh my gosh, we'd love to have you join us and be part of the team. The only thing is we ask is that you just share us with your fans and followers. Once you do that, message me back and I'll send you a free hat. And then boom, they set you don't even need to check if they shared, because once they share on their story, it's going to show inside that message. It's going to become bold again, like unread, and it's going to say message. It's going to say blah 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 shared a story or featured you on their story, because they have to tag you. That's like in the written in the thing. And then once they tag you, then once they share your story, then you just go back in. Like I have the girls at the office who do customer service and answer the DMs, and my wife does it a lot too. I do it too. I just pop in there. That's why people are asking, why don't you have a personal Instagram and stuff we can talk? Because dude, I'm doing this stuff all day. I'm in there going boom, 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 boom. So I copy the message. I just copy paste to the people who shared us on their story. The sharing on the story one, that message, you kind of have to be on top of it a little bit, because if you wait too long, it'll disappear, and then you don't know, did they really share, did they not share? You can see like a little gray text that says like that they shared you. But so yeah, that's just a strategy you could try if you're somebody that doesn't have. You could even try it without free product. You could set that up. Maybe you're like, dude, I can't give away so much free product. But it's good to remember that nobody's going to want your product until they think everybody else wants your product. Do you know what I mean? Think about it. Like a brand that you like or whatever. Like think about, I feel like for a long time Gymshark was super popular, and then it kind of faded away. Everybody wanted Gymshark because at the gym they saw everybody was wearing Gymshark. So like, oh, I'm going to get some Gymshark gear. So it's kind of, you got to think of it like that. But maybe you could offer, instead you give them a huge discount code, like be part of the team and you get 50% off for life. And then every time you share a product, every time someone buys off your link, you get 10% of their sale or something like that. You know what I mean? You could set that up through collabs inside of Shopify if you don't know what I'm talking about. But all right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Let's go. Hopefully the stock market bounces back and we're not all down and out, and I'm not living in this truck. Let's freaking go.
All right. Woo. This is light work. Come on.